Not for full time. Not for full time.
Oh, Haley? Oh, never mind. Never mind. Good. No, thank you. All right. 7:01. Let's stand for the pledge and remain standing, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. So we had unfortunately 2 residents passed during this last month, a Donald Powley and a Philip Paul. Let's have a moment of silence for our resident. Thank you. Go ahead and have a seat. All right. Has the board had a chance to review the bills?
Yes. Yes.
Yes. Can I get a motion to accept the bills?
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Have you had a chance to review the minutes from last month?
Yes.
Yes. Any questions, concerns? Good.
Mhm.
Can I get a motion?
I'll make the motion.
All right, Marvin.
I'll
Second. Wes. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. All in favor. Thank you. All right, so tonight we have 4 presenters. Our first presentation is going to be our town assessor, new this year, Dawn Allen. Floor is yours, Dawn.
Thank you. I'm so excited. I present something in writing, which I never normally do. I usually just speak off the cuff. So forgive me if I'm a little out of sorts sometimes here with that. But I came here to talk to you tonight about reassessment. I know in the past it's been done on an annual basis, supposedly. And the last time when it's been done is 2022. So we're underway right now, completing one. So again, my name's Dawn Allen. I was appointed as your town assessor. Although I'm new to Barry, I'm not new to the assessment community. I've been involved for over 30 years. I've worked in the town of Barry, with the town of Barry, for a number of years in my role as real property tax director. I wanted to take a few minutes, again, to explain what a property reassessment is, why it happens, and what it means for you as a parent. What is a reassessment? A reassessment is a review and update of all property values in the community to reflect the current market condition. So what a property would sell for in today's market. Over time, property values change. Some go up, some go down, and not all at the same rate. So not everybody changes by 10%, 20%. It could be a certain style. It could be a certain property type. There's a number of factors that control that value, and it's all, we drive it out of the market. Reassessment helps make sure everyone is being taxed based on a fair and up-to-date estimate of what their property would sell for today. Why we do it? The most important thing is fairness and equity. And as I've gone through the town of Barry, there are things that are all over the place. And what we have to focus on is not looking behind us and what was there. We're going to draw the line in the sand and we're starting over. So it's going to be a shock to some people, I believe. Without reassessment, some properties may be assessed far below market value, while others are closer to full value. And I found that on a number of cases. That means some property owners could be paying more than their fair share and have been paying so for a number of years, while others pay less. Reassessment helps correct those imbalances that exist out there. So the tax burden is distributed over a more fairly across the community. Does reassessment raise the taxes? Well, that's a misconception. A reassessment does not automatically increase the total amount of taxes the town collects. They determine how much they collect through their budget process. And that process is limited by the 2% tax cap. So, what does change, however, is how that total tap is divided among all the taxpayers in the community. If your property value increases more than the community average, your share of taxes could go up. If it increases less than the average, your share can go down. And I can tell you I've been through multiple reassessment projects as a real property tax director and along with being an assessor for a number of years before that. And the last project that I worked on, there were 50, if you were like under 50% increase in a community, you saw a decrease. So just because your assessment may change by 50%, doesn't mean that your taxes are going to go up. We don't know until this all shakes out and we get done. We have no idea. How are these values determined? Okay, so we look at the real estate market over the last 3 to 4 years and say what's going on. My staff, because we at the county before I retired, had a contract with the town of Barry, and we reviewed all of the properties that were out there, corrected and found buildings that were missing or improvements like decks, sheds, all different kinds of things. Cleaned up most of the data that we could find that was not there or wrong. Square footage. There's been things that have happened over the years. I don't know if it was, I probably was bad code enforcement at one point. Not saying now, but I'm talking years ago because it's carried through for a long time. So we cleaned up a lot of that stuff first, analyzed all the data, the sales. We set up the project and valued all the properties at the county level before I came. Now I'm reviewing them a second time. So I have been spending approximately 8 to 10 hours a day reviewing every single property to make sure that what we're going to send out to you in the next 30 days is accurate or close to being accurate. We can't be perfect. It's impossible. Because there are things we don't know about everybody's property. So we're going to look at these sales. It's basically a reappraisal. And we're going to bring in 3 to 5 sales that have happened within the last so many years and reappraise your property. So like if you go out and get a mortgage or a home equity line, basically the same process. We're going to make adjustments, positive and negative, to make sure that your property and the sales are the same. So property could sell for 150, but they may have, an extra building, so it's going to take away from that to come up with to make it just like yours. So we look at the sales, we look at, again, all of the characteristics of the property, the size, the condition, the location, what improvements. Improvements are buildings, farms, anything that is other than the land. We also look at the market trends and data for the area. Our goal is to estimate what each property would have sold for as of the valuation date. Not what you paid for years ago, it's irrelevant. We were looking at today's value. And not what you personally think it might be worth. You know, personally for tax purposes. So what happens if you do disagree with this assessment once we get all of that done? That's the fun. You absolutely have the right to ask questions. Just remember that. If you believe your assessment does not reflect what your property's market value is, please contact the office. We can review the data and correct any factual data that may not be correct. And if I decide that it warrants a change, I will make a change. If the data is not sufficient enough to make a change, it stays the same. That's not the end goal. There's a formal grievance process, which happens in May, and it'll be the fourth Tuesday in May. It's every year. It's not really been active in the town of Barry, but I am encouraging people to go. I think it will be busy this time. The office, one thing to keep in mind too is the office's role is not to set the taxes again, it's to ensure fair and equitable property value. I am committed to transparency and helping you understand how your assessment was determined. I'm going to go through that with you, the whole process. Please reach out. I'm here to help you through the entire process, even if it feels like it's painful. I promise you it won't be so bad. So what to expect next? So within the next month, after that second review is complete, of all the parcels, you will receive a notice with your new 2026 market value. Not a market value from 2014, not a market value from 2000. It will be a current market value from this year. Start the process now. That's why I'm here now, not waiting until the letters go out. Start the process now. Familiarize yourself with property sales within the town of Barry and also Orleans County. Get a head start doing your homework since there's a very short window to review assessments. I will try my best to meet with every single person that wants to meet with me. I will be here every single day until that point where we can no longer meet. Just some things to keep in mind also. Again, the town hasn't completed a reassessment since 22. This year's project is a comprehensive review. Comprehensive. It's not just the properties that have sold, it's everything. So every property is going to be looked at. And every assessment, you can guarantee, probably will change. It is unknown when the last time a comprehensive reassessment has been completed. That part is unknown. For your contact, the median list price for 2025 in Orleans County was between 188 and 233,000. With prices seeing a year-over-year increase, and they often and have been selling near or above the asking price. Homes with selling prices, here's another fact that I share with people just so they know what's going on. Homes with selling prices, so you can gauge where you're at. Homes with selling prices of 80,000 to 100,000 right now are homes that require a significant amount of work to be habitable. We have multiple sales of $80,000 to $100,000 in this county, and you can't live in them. Homes that have sold in the $150,000 range, we require a large investment of nearly $100,000 to bring them home and expand. So that's, everybody's looking like, sticker shock, but yeah. What I've seen by looking at things, again, I'm looking at every single thing. Try not to look at what was happened before. But when you've got a home on the street that's assessed for $38,000 and it's habitable and it's in good condition, not good condition, but say normal condition, older home, next door to it, you got a 1980 mobile home assessed for $47,000. Doesn't make sense to me. So that's the point. We're going to try to clean up some of this stuff and bring it to where they should be. A level playing field. So I wish there was more people here. Go to your churches, community, tell them what's going on. Hopefully we'll put some of this stuff out on the internet, on my page, so they can see. This video will be. Yeah, I know. I didn't really like that, but yeah. Okay. That's fine. Does anybody have any questions? Yes.
I do. Agriculture is different.
Yes.
Is that an 8-year rolling average? Is that true?
A what?
8-year rolling average of land movement?
Oh, well, I can just tell you, New York State reviews our assessment every year. And they analyze you and to come up with what they call an equalization rate. Now, town varies in the 70s, which that is probably a gift for New York, because we're not really in the 70s. Overall, possibility we made it there. But they break it down by different types of property, like residential, vacant land, utilities, and commercial. So they give you 4 different breakdowns. So your residentials are probably like way down there, they're in the 50. Agricultural land, I'm thinking it's probably changing 15 to 20%. It's, or land in general, it has to move by 20%. New York State says overall when they look at it for us to get back to 100. The residential is the big one, and unfortunately, I hate to be the bearer of it, but bad news, but it will level itself up. We have to get cleaned up. It has nothing to do with these people up here because, like I said, they create a budget. Yeah, and so when you get your notice, they can't do anything for you because I'm the only one that's in charge of that role. And then there's a separate board that you agree to. So
Dawn, to clear this up, agriculture does not have an 8-year rolling average of what sales went for the last 8 years.
no, that's the list price. I'm giving you list price of residential
No, but agricultural land, production land.
production land.
I mean, that's like majority of, we only have like 700 houses in this town.
Well, there's a lot more than you think. Trust me, I'm looking at them.
Roughly 700 houses.
I've been looking at them.
There's a lot of land, you know.
There's a lot of land. Yeah, you're saying over 8 years.
That's what we were always under the assumption for years, that it was an 8-year rolling average of sales. That's not true. Okay.
No, maybe in the past that's how someone had done it, but I mean, I'm looking at it. I'm looking at, okay, well, you know, what is it at? We've had some big sales in ag land, but not enough to justify it. Yes, it's not. So, you know, it's not, you know, going up to what some of these sales have been selling for recently, but it's bringing it up another probably 20% from where it was. So 15 to 20%, depending, you know, the ground. So.
So the soil class doesn't matter then.
Yeah, we do it by normal and poor, you know, good normal poor ratings on the soil.
Okay.
If you're in farm production, more than likely you have an ag exemption.
Right.
So you're only going to pay, even though, and that's the 100 thing. I mean, even like, I could raise them all up to 200, I mean, you pay, library tax and,
Fire tax.
yeah, fire tax. But I mean, for the most part, even if I raise them up 50%, you get that exemption, you're only gonna pay whatever that state ceiling amount is. That's what that exemption is.
Okay.
So like, if the state says that, woodland is 500 an acre, and we have 1,500 on it, you can have 3,000 on it, you're still only gonna pay taxes on the 500.
Right.
The rest would be exempt. That's how that works.
Right.
It's confusing.
No, I
To say
understand.
the least.
I understand it.
To say the least. It's confusing to explain. But, any other questions?
I'm not sure if this is how I'm understanding it, but so
Okay.
say you bought your house for 30,000, you're gonna assess it for 100,000. Is there like a give to where, okay, my taxes, whatever, or like,
Not your taxes,
or,
your value.
yeah, but like, however that ratio works out, it's like, is there going to be a way for folks to accommodate that? Or is it, nope, you're doing it this way, this is what it's valued at? Does that make sense?
The ratio.
Like, so I recently bought my home.
Okay.
It doubled. We were estimating, taxes and value and all this. And then within 6 months, we got a new assessment of the house. And it's like, okay.
Was it 22 or before?
21. Yeah. So
That's how they were used to be done. So if you bought, you got, and then the rest of the road stayed the same.
I don't know, 22 maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
I retired in 21. So maybe 22. But I'm just saying, it was like from all the paperwork and all the being, if you've been in your house for so many years, is there going to be a way for folks?
No, it's
That's
the market
thing.
value.
Okay.
It doesn't matter if you've been here forever or moved in, everybody's gonna be reappraised at the same level. Because does it make any sense that you would pay more because you bought your house in 21? The neighbor down the street has the same identical house and is paying half.
But that's not right. It's one of those like because I guess it's the tax whatever. However, it breaks out to what your breakdown is. To where is there going to be a percentage increase as to how folks are able to afford or pay for?
That's where you're getting confused. It's not afford and pay for.
Okay.
Because it's not tax dollars. You can't look at it. Yeah, when you did it and you were singled out, and not everybody else is, yeah, your taxes would double.
Mm-hmm.
But now that systematically we're reviewing every single property to full market value, as opposed to just ones that have sold,
Mhm.
everything goes up. And it makes the pot bigger, which brings down the tax. They already had a high tax rate for a long time. And changing, I can tell you things are gonna change big. There's some big numbers out there. And what's gonna happen is that tax rate could drop $2 or $3 a thousand. And if you're at the higher end, you're probably gonna see a tax decrease because all these years you've been paying more than they. That's why we do this. I wanna do it right. I do wanna do it right. Feel free, like I said, do your homework, look, see what your house, you think it's worth. Look at the comps.
I get letters every month.
You get letters every month?
Please sell my house. Please sell your house.
Oh, I get a text. I get a text. Want to sell your house? No. Yeah. Any other questions? Any questions from the board?
No, but thank you very much. You guys gonna,
I don't like being that paper. This way, I just.
I appreciate it though. That was pretty good. Fair and equitable is what it's gonna end up being.
What?
Fair and equitable.
That's what I want. That's my goal.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know there's gonna be a lot of people angry with. I know that. I've been through that before. And I'm still here.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, next we'll have a presenter, Jack Donellan from Hemlock Ridge Solar. Floor is yours, Jackie.
Thank you. Thanks everybody for having me. Thank you all for being here. So my name is Jack Dolan. I'm with AES and we are doing the Hemlock Ridge Solar Project. So this project's been in development for quite a long time. You know, we were kind of right at the goal line, ready to get to construction. So, you know, there are a few things to talk about here with the board, with everybody, and I also just want to kind of give a high level update of the project because it's been a while. So like I said, my name is Jack Dolan. I'm a senior manager of development at AES. I've been with the company about 5 years. Yeah, Hemlock Ridge Solar, I think, was started in 2019, and you know, it's a complicated process. These large utility scale projects, you know, you've got the state permitting process, you've got the interconnection process, and then you've got this, you know, the commercial side of the business, actually how you sell the power to New York. So those three things all kind of need to kind of coalesce at the same time, and almost like the stars need to align to get these projects into construction. So we're almost there. We're really close. And right now we're at the stage where we've got you know, most if not all of our agreements done, and then we're really just focused on getting our main contractor, you know, the folks who are actually going to build the project, you know, big contract, a lot of dollars at risk. So it's just you know, some back and forth on that with the higher ups, but that's really where we're at, and so they're kind of getting ready to mobilize to construction. So the first thing that we would do is do some tree clearing, which some folks might be familiar. There's a tree clearing window in this part of the state that you can basically clear trees in the winter due to bat habitat. So we would look to clear a very small amount of trees by the end of March of this year. So it's only about 0.4 acres of trees. It's really a small amount, and it's really it's basically just hedgerows between a few agricultural fields. So it's a small amount, and one thing that I guess, you know, we could talk about here is the posting of a decommissioning bond. So under the regulations, you know, before you mobilize to construction, you need to post a bond that covers the cost of decommissioning the solar project. So this bond is quite a bit. It was estimated in 2021 when the permit application went to the state at about $10 million. So that covers in 2021 dollars the amount that it would cost, you know, for a, you know, a crew to go out there, take down the panels, take out all the steel, you know, most of the wires down, and basically restore the condition of the site to how it looks now. So it's a good amount of money, and basically we're asking that the town would approve us to go and do this small amount of tree clearing without posting that bond, just because, you know, the bond of $10 million, the fees on that are quite a bit. And frankly, this is such a small amount of tree clearing. We could probably, it's not a project killer, right? If we have to do this in November of next year, same time, it would basically be convenient for us, you know, to be able to get out there and get this done. There's basically one access road that goes through the hedgerow that we would be able to install this year as opposed to waiting until next winter. So that is an ask of ours, and you know, town board can think about it and get back to me, and you know, we can discuss that.
Can I have clarify?
Yes.
I can see it first.
Yeah.
So I think the question that the board probably has is the reason that you're asking for us to, as a board, to waive bond at this point is because you're not actually building it. Is that right? So there's nothing for decommission.
Correct. Yeah. Yeah. It's good clarifying point. There's nothing. So we would just right now be going to clear these small amount of trees. Nothing to decommission out there, and the ag land that also gets covered under the decommissioning bond would be as is. Wouldn't be impacted. And so that gets to the next part. So that would be our first phase of construction, would be this tree clearing. And then the next phase would aim to begin about July of this year. And that's what we call civil construction. So that's, you know, that's really going out, installing the access roads, you know, doing a certain amount of grading, and really just the civil construction work, a lot of stormwater, you know, retention basins, or kind of however that design looks. And then, you know, they start to bring in material, you know, the steel for the piles and things like that, right? You know, kind of after that. So starting in July is when the construction, you know, when folks around the area would really see a lot of trucks going to the site and, you know, the construction actually beginning. And then it would be kind of on a rolling basis from there, until about 2028 is when we would aim to finish. So that would probably be towards the end of 2028. And the last thing, most likely being the interconnection of the project to the transmission lines that run right through the middle of the site. So we would be building a substation directly adjacent to the transmission lines and then interconnecting the project there. And so that aspect of the project involves coordination with the utility, where you know, when we actually, you know, go to connect the grid, they need to take a line out of service, and so we kind of just manage that with them. And we're kind of at their whims on when we can specifically do that. So aiming for the end of 2028, and that's kind of the plan right now. And so, you know, really, we are, like I said, have most of our agreements done with the town. We've got the host community benefit agreement is signed. The pilot agreement is done with the county and the taxing jurisdictions. We've got education contribution agreements with the school district to compensate them for their fair share of the taxes, as well as a host community agreement with the county. So those agreements are all done. The road use agreements are done with the county and the town of Shelby. And I think that was another thing, was just, I think that road use agreement was
We gotta get that signed.
approved, and it just needs to get signed. So I don't know if that's anything to talk about here, or if that's more just kind of administrative.
Administrative, I mean, it was approved
Yeah,
back in 2025. It's just the administrative oversight,
right. Okay, cool.
putting pen to.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm happy to answer any questions. You know, we're, like I said, we're kind of right there. You know, I myself am kind of on pins and needles waiting for the approval of this contract to go through, and we can mobilize. The other thing I'll say is that I am on the development side of the project, and so I kind of pass this project off to what we call our execution side, or our construction manager, basically. So her name is Jen Ammerling, and she, you know, is really capable. And she will be, you know, once the project goes into construction, you'll probably be seeing more of her, less of me. And she'll be kind of managing the contractor who's going to be out there doing the work. And I know the contractor themselves have, you know, they've been around the area, and so folks might have seen them. But yeah, plenty of work been, you know, done over the years, you know, on the sites and whatnot. So yeah, that'll be.
We're also gonna be, putting in for, or requesting for a monitor as well.
Right.
We're gonna advertise to get a company for that.
Okay, great.
You'll hear that in a little bit.
Okay,
If you stick around, okay.
perfect.
Good question, Ben.
Oh, Sean?
Jen, question. Town of Shelby, have they gotten squared away because of all the turmoil they've been going through? Is this going to in any way cause a delay in this project going in? They only have a small percent, approximately 15% of the project. So are they going to in any way kind of hinder this project going forward?
No, I don't think so. The new supervisor there has been really good to work with. They got the road use agreement done. We got all, you know, the HCA is done. So, on the tree clearing side, there's no tree clearing. It's all in Berry. So there's none in Shelby, so, you know, I hadn't talked to them about this decommissioning sort of situation, just because it's not really applicable to them. So no, I mean, and, you know, talking with, you know, the supervisor over there, he seems like, you know, he's knowledgeable about the project, and they're moving things forward at a pretty good clip. So I don't see them, you know, in an issue at all.
At what time are you gonna put up the bond? Since you're trying to stall it now,
Yeah.
you never said when you were gonna actually
Yeah.
put it up.
Good question. So we would ask that we put that bond up before the civil construction in July. And so how this would look would basically be, we will finish our engineering plans. You know, we're at what we call the 90% level now. And then, you know, we review that, make sure everything looks good, and then we get our final plans about April or so. And then we would actually redo that estimate, because that was done back in 2021. So we'll redo it. And then, you know, we'll talk to the town about it. We've got a decommissioning agreement that we would look at, and you know, the town would, you know, be able to look at that estimate, make sure it looks good, you know, and it's not way too low or something like that. And so we get that approval, then we post the bond. And then that would be about June or so.
Since you said you're gonna update it now, just curiosity, how does that work? I mean, 10 years from now,
Yeah.
that number's not gonna be any good to me.
Yep. So the estimate gets revisited every 5 years under the regulations. So they kind of account for that, yeah, because inflation and whatnot.
Yeah.
So yeah, every 5 years, we'll take a look back at it and make sure it gets updated, and that gets posted with, I think, a letter of credit, something like that. That would just be issued. So the towns will always have the amount, if anything were to happen at AES, the money would be there.
Board, you guys got anything? Margaret? You got anything? Questions?
No, I don't think so. I think that the trees that you're gonna remove are over by Hemlock and Gray Road.
Yeah, they are to the east side of the project.
Yeah, I live over there.
Yeah, so there's and so there is there's 0.4 acres or so that we're talking about removing now. There would be additional tree clearing that would happen next year. All of it is pretty much hedgerows. There's not large forest stands and things like that other projects have. So it's a relatively small amount of clearing, I think. Maybe 5 acres or so in total. Don't quote me on that. But yeah, there will be more next year.
Yeah, but are you sure it's not wetlands?
Correct. Yeah, we won't be clearing in wetlands, at least not this year. And if we did need to clear anything in wetlands, we'd have to get all the permits in place for that.
What's your start date that you're looking at to cut the trees?
To cut the trees, it would be, I think they're looking at March 16th right now, which, yeah, they're only looking at, a couple days to do it. And this would be, this is just guys with chainsaws going out there to cut the trees as opposed to equipment going out there. So they won't be, going through the fields with equipment. So that is one thing that comes up. So we won't have a SWIP in place, which is something usually you need if you have big equipment going through the field.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yep.
Any other questions?
You have an anticipated date on here,
So basically it's for the tree clearing part, it's
Yeah.
just, if we were to get this bond thing sorted out, that's what the team kind of tells me. They said it's really just waiting on this bond. So we submitted all the other compliance filings and,
Okay. So given the date that you're hoping to start, I guess my recommendation to the board would be to take action on this tonight. We can wait till we get to Hemlock on the old business side. That would be, give some clarity to AES, whether or not, they're supportive of waiving the bond requirement or we call it.
yeah, we call it a limited notice to proceed.
The limited notice. Oops. That's my 2 cents to the board on this, just.
So when we get the new business, we'll add that in there.
Mhm.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Thanks.
Appreciate it. All right. Our next presenter will be Berry Betterment Committee. Elizabeth Marat. I hope I said that right.
No, T, I'm married. I'm Elizabeth Moran. Y'all might know Gaylord. I'm here on behalf of the Berry Betterment Committee. We have lots of plans for 2026. We applied for a Go Art grant through the Batavia, New York Arts Program. What we're looking to do this year, it's a new one for us, is a bicentennial paint by numbers project. We have hired or commissioned artist Stacy Kirby. She's a local gal to put a 8x4, 4x8 canvas for celebrating the bicentennial. Many of y'all were around about 20 years ago. There was a senior scout class project for the Erie Canal. I believe it was Kern Tennyson, could be wrong. Basically, somebody drew the art, made little shapes, neighbors, community members came, painted a little piece. And then, at the end of the program, it was presented to the town of Albion probably. So what our plan is on Founder's Day to start this project. We've reserved, the town building to do that with a meet and greet with Stacy, having her kind of let everybody know what she's about, what her art's about. Have some examples of her art, kind of get an idea of where she's going with the project from our input to her input. I'm not an artist, so if we have any ideas from y'all, let us know. We'll try to talk to her, see how she can incorporate things. But again, it's for the bicentennial. So that's, again, our meet and greet would start March 6th. We're unsure if it's going to be a traveling canvas or a stationary canvas. If traveling, we would like to have it at the square dance, potentially at the trunk or treat. And then the final reveal would be November 19th, I believe, here at the town. We'll reserve that when we have more information if that works for everybody. So that's that with Go Arts supporting. Our next event May for Easter, we're looking at potentially an Easter egg hunt, or an Easter drop, as opposed to the You've Been Egged we've done the last couple of years. Again, the square dance will be June 20th. That's also sponsored by Go Art. Our trunk or treat will be the 24th of October. We may change that up this year. Looking into some other ideas, maybe a movie night, family night, something like that, due to our weather in late October. And then our tractor parade is December 12th, and then rain snow date December 13th.
Yes, Founder's Day, you have a time?
March 6th, yes. 5 to 7 is the event. And we're gonna have her, Stacy's gonna be around, so it's not like you have to stay here the 2 hours. So she'll kind of do a meet and greet, maybe, 5-second speech here, 5-second speech here as we get new folks. So that way you don't have to stay the entire 2 hours.
Thank you. Any other questions?
We'd like to kind of incorporate something for the kids to do, maybe through the art students at school, so that we could maybe put up some art work from them for July, for the big birthday bash.
Okay.
Okay, I was going to talk about it tomorrow night.
Okay.
I will be there tomorrow.
Good. Anything? Thank you very much. All right. And last but not least, Chief Jerry.
Excuse me, gave everybody the report, January 22 calls for the month of January, 13 EMS, 2 MVAs, 1 vehicle fire, 2 wires down, 1 pumping detail, 1 lift assist, 1 fire alarm, 1 chimney fire. In January, we received mutual aid 2 times. We did not provide any mutual aid. So 22 calls answered by 158 members. 7.1 responders per call. In January, our members responded 128 and a half hours of response time. And 5 of the 22 were during the workday. We got a bunch of training going on at the fire hall. Last night we did our annual fit test and air consumption training. I continue to work with the county with the fire and EMS study. So I put there's a whole bunch of data on the next 3 pages that you guys can feel free to look at. I thought there's some pretty interesting data that's come out of this study. So one of the interesting things in the last 8 years, we've had in the town of Berry, we've had a 65% increase in call volume. The county as a whole is a 46% increase. So you guys can look at that at your leisure. Another notable thing we had, average response times by ambulances. When we were in the past, we were contracted with a rural ambulance. Their response time was 14 minutes. Mercy's average response time has been 10 minutes. So you can decide yourself if we made the right choice. So that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate that. All right. So those are present. We have no speakers for this evening, and we'll get into old business. Wes, I don't know if you wanted to add anything to Hemlock other than
No, I
said it.
nothing
Yeah,
more than what I said just now.
perfect. So let everybody know we did receive a check from the Baird project, so that was good. Heritage Wind, Dave, Wes, you got anything? I know Dave's got some stuff to read on the new business, but anything from old business with Heritage?
I think we've got somebody here if you
We got
wanna give it an update.
yeah.
On the phone, maybe?
I don't
I
know.
don't hear any
I haven't
music.
heard anything. Hello? I hear movement, but I don't.
Okay. Alright then, wonder what happened, but, want me to give the update?
Yeah, I saw you were gonna
Yeah.
talk about it, so.
In terms of what's going on, tree clearing has started for Heritage Wind. There was a miscommunication about the scope of our compliance monitor, so we no longer have a compliance monitor on site for tree clearing. That was not covered by the EPA. So they were out there for a couple. And they also intend to start, civil construction during the summer. It'll be a very busy summer in here.
Good to go.
That's that, the rest of it is new business.
Okay. All right, under the comprehensive plan, the two co-chairs are gonna be talking to LaBellas to finalize everything, and then they're gonna pass it to the board. And then the board will be working it to finalize. Water District 10, we're still waiting on, the individual to let us know why it was denied, the grant. Haven't received anything back from them yet. The new water tower, we've been having meetings on the new water tower that's gonna be going up. And, for the four towns, Berry, Albion, Ridgeway, and Murray. And right now, we're waiting for Murray to get back to us if they're gonna join it or not. I can give you a quick update. The approximate monthly increase if all four towns or three towns without Ridgeway will be $9 a month raised in the water bill. And if we don't get Murray or Ridgeway, it'll be $14 a month raised in the water bill increase, I should say. That's where we are right now. And the water tower's pretty much a mandatory thing. We can't go without it. What we have now it supplied the town 30 years ago, but the town has grown. All right, any questions on that?
You go, that's an average increase.
Yeah,
It's a buy per thousand,
correct.
around $1.70 per thousand increase. So it'll just be on the water charge itself.
Yep.
Not a debt service. Or just on what you use.
Thank you. All right, new business. We'll be, for the union, we're gonna be negotiating starting very soon. Contract with the union is up this year. Audit for the town finances will be completed. I just need to get a date to give them to come and do it. We just make the motion now. We'll ask for a motion for Hemlock Ridge, waiving the bond for tree clearing.
Sure, do you wanna make a motion to permit waiving the bond requirement for
Tree clearing.
the construction? Limited tree clearing.
So make
Are
a,
we talking Hemlock Ridge?
Yeah.
Okay, was it limited notice to proceed? I thought that's what.
Yep, tree clearing on the limited notice.
So you want tree clearing in front of limited notice?
so I'm gonna make a motion for tree clearing.
Limited notice to proceed.
To waive the bond requirement
Exactly.
I'll second that.
for that.
All right, Margaret seconds.
You made it?
I made it. Margaret seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I'm gonna go down the line. Kirk,
Aye.
Wes,
Aye.
Margaret.
Yes.
Dave,
Aye.
me, aye.
Okay, both? Okay, so the motion is to waive the,
The bond
Bond.
requirement during the pre-clearing limited notice to proceed.
so they're not granting a limited notice to proceed?
No, the
Okay.
state will grant that.
Okay,
They will not require the bond during that.
Okay, I'm gonna pass it over to Dave.
Thanks, Dave.
Go ahead, Dave.
Hey, we're gonna have a Town of Berry Town Board resolution to authorize publication of a request for proposals for compliance monitor services for Heritage Wind project. Whereas Heritage Wind LLC is developing the Heritage Wind project, a utility scale wind energy facility located in the town of Berry, Orleans County, New York, which is permitted pursuant to Article 94C of the New York Executive Law. And whereas the town of Berry is a party to a host community agreement with Heritage Wind LLC, which, among other things, provides for the town's retention of an independence compliance monitor to review and oversee compliance with applicable New York State building, electrical, and fire codes, as well as other local agreements during construction and post-construction phases of the project. And whereas the town board finds it to be in the best interest of the town to solicit proposals from qualified, independent engineers or engineering firms to serve as compliance monitor for the Heritage Wind project. Now therefore be it resolved that the town board of the town of Berry hereby authorizes the publication of a request for proposals for compliance monitor services for the Heritage Wind project in substantially the form presented to the town board, and be it further resolved that the purpose of retaining a compliance monitor is to assist the town in reviewing building plans, conducting inspections, certifying compliance with applicable codes, monitoring road use obligations, and reporting to the town in accordance with the host community agreement. And be it further resolved that the town supervisor, or in his absence, the deputy supervisor, is hereby authorized and directed to take any and all necessary ministerial actions to effectuate the publication and administration of the request for proposals, including coordination of the town staff and consultants consistent with the host community agreement. And be it further resolved that this resolution shall take effect immediately upon adoption. Can I get a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I abstain.
Aye.
Abstain.
Kirk abstain. Okay. That's it. Okay. All right, next, Hemlock.
Yep.
You read Hemlock?
Yeah, we can like.
I want to bury the lead, but the red version is essentially the same, it just swaps out.
Yeah.
Hemlock.
Town of Berry Board Resolution Authorization of Publication of a request for proposal for a compliance monitor RFP services for Hemlock Ridge Solar Project. Whereas Hemlock Ridge Solar LLC is developing the Hemlock Ridge Solar Project, the utility scale solar photovoltaic energy facility located at Town of Berry, Orleans County, New York, which is permitted pursuant to Article 94C of New York Executive Law. And whereas the Town of Berry is a party to a host community agreement with Hemlock Ridge Solar LLC, which, among other things, provides the town's retention of an independent compliance monitor to review and oversee compliance with an applicable New York State building, electrical, and fire codes, and as well as other local agreements during construction and post-construction phases of the project. And whereas the town board finds it to be the best interest of the town to solicit proposals for the qualification of independent engineer or engineering firms to serve as compliance monitor for the Hemlock Ridge Solar Project. Now therefore be it resolved that the town board of the town of Berry hereby authorizes the publication of the request or proposal of compliance monitor services for the Hemlock Ridge project in substantially the form present to the town board, and be it further resolved that the purpose of the retaining of the compliance monitor is to assist the town in reviewing building plans, conducting inspections, certifying compliance with the applicable codes, monitoring road use obligations, and reporting to the town in accordance with the host community agreement. And be it further resolved that the town supervisor, or in his absence, the deputy supervisor, is hereby authorized and directed to any and all necessary ministerial actions to effectuate the publication and administration of the request of the proposals, including coordination with the town staff and consultants consist with the host community agreement, and be therefore resolved that this resolution shall take effect immediately upon adoption. Can I have a motion to accept?
Make a motion.
Second,
I'll second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. All right. Oh, this is, okay. All right. All right. Moving on. I'm gonna read this, authorization agreement for the pictometry project. At a regular meeting of the Town of Berry Board held February 11th, 2026, at the Town Hall, 14317 West Berry Road, LB, New York, 14411. Motion was made by the council to adopt the following resolution. Whereas the last flyover of Orleans County occurred 5 years ago, and many improvements have been made since then. Whereas by committing to a regular schedule of flyover, we can continue to keep in touch with the development of our town and villages. Whereas pictometry, EBA Eagle View has been proven to be an invaluable asset to planners, assessors, code enforcement, emergency responders, economic development, and other municipal functions. Be it resolved that the town board of the town of Berry does hereby agree to partner with Orleans County to establish a series of flyovers over the next 9 years at the cost of the town to not to exceed $1.40 per parcel. And just to be clear, for the next 9 years, we're going to pay $2,041.63 each year. So for 9 years, we pay that. But during these 9 years, there's going to be 3 separate flyovers. So they're going to do that. Can I get a motion to go forward with the pictometry project? Sign this, the town up. I get a motion. Or you got any questions first? Go ahead.
I guess we gotta make a motion first before we ask. I'll make a motion.
Wes? Second?
I'll second.
Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Ayes have it. All right. We gotta sign it. Every one of us will sign or pass.
And then the one that I sent down should be good.
Oh, they still haven't signed that.
I'll send it with this.
Okay. Just an FYI, the Greene County Commercial Bank payment for water districts 2 through 4, the principal and interest loan payment will be paid March 15th. Before March 15th was $27,618.50. That's on the loan payment that came through the taxes. Amherst Alarm, they changed the batteries and updated stuff. They're going to come in and fix this one here because when this table gets bumped, panic alarm goes off. We had a problem with the fire hydrant, but thanks to Dale and his crew for their rapid recovery, they got the water back up and running really quick. Thanks, Dale. Make sure you tell you guys thanks. Orleans County had their Association of Municipalities meeting. This month, Barry's hosting it. We are hosting it. It's gonna be at the Village Inn. They did have an election of officers for the legislative. The co-chair for supervisors in the legislation is Gail Ashbury. Co-chair for legislatures is John Fitzak, and the treasurer is Darlene Rich. All right, we'll get into the supervisor financials. Total receipts for this month were $522,038.06. General fund townwide, $136,855.75. That's 19.63% of the annual budget. For the highway, it was $204,724.28, which is 14.65% of the annual budget. Highway and Water, Dale, you're up.
I just pulled up my monthly report on my email. Did everybody get the full page?
They got one very long.
Right,
Oh, no.
yeah, I got it.
Okay, good. Well, mine was only like, could see the half, anyway. Any questions?
No. Now I'm ready to retire.
Yes.
And we'll be doing the union contracts with Frank soon too, so that'll be coming up.
Applications to replace him.
Two. So far. Yeah, till the 16th of this month. Yeah, that's Monday.
All right. Town clerk. Maureen.
Oh, there, they can take a look at that. You already have that.
Yes.
Check was already given to you.
Yeah.
Taxes are coming in pretty good. Water, the town was paid in total yesterday. So everything else now go to the county. Other than that, I need a motion to appoint Kathy Klein as second deputy, replacing Linda Root.
I'll make the motion.
And I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Thank you. Yes.
No,
All right.
not unless anyone has a question.
Any questions for Maureen? Assessor, we heard from Dawn. Code enforcement, Jared, you're up.
You guys all reviewed the monthly report, correct? Any questions on it? So
Well,
I did hear back from one resident already with the letters I sent out for the expired permit, so.
Give us a quick brief on the camera, what letters you're sending out and what's about.
So I sent out, 7 letters to various residents for expired permits that I'm reviewing from 24 forward. There's permits that were started with Chad and I'm trying to close out. The letter stated that they can either come in and renew it, or if the work's done, then I'll go out and do a plant inspection on it and then issue a CC or CO. They have till March 6th, I believe, to get back to me. And then I also sent out 3 property maintenance letters for violations. They're also March 6th to get back to me. Those were they were all for excessive vehicles. With the weather, I put in the letter to reach back out to me. Either we can't solve the issue right this second, at least work with me so that we know what's going on, that it can be solved so there's no, kind of hard to, there are a bunch of vehicles when it's not there.
So what's your next move with the barns put out there? Because it might be interesting to Josh, in the
So
future.
barns, I'm trying to get a list together. I don't want to send any letters out until I have a list of all the ones that need to be taken care of, because I don't want to send half of them out and then they're questioning why somebody else
We're
did
talking
it.
about each other, sure.
So hopefully in the next month or two, I can get a full list together of who we need to send letters to. That'll be a little more of a process because it's not cheap for somebody to clean up the barn. And you guys won't burn
I was
it.
gonna say, it might be worth putting some verbiage in there to not bother calling us, because we won't burn it.
That's what I think, so.
That's good.
I know it's definitely harder with
Yeah.
that. But again, those letters aren't getting sent out yet until I have a list of all the properties.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Appreciate you showing up, Joe. North Shore canceled on us last minute, just so you know.
I know, let me know.
Okay. All right, planning, Kirk.
Yes, the plan board did have a short meeting and they officially put Stevie Harlan as co-chair. And they had questions for our town attorney, which was present mostly on land separation.
Okay.
Anything?
There was a question about a land separation about the Wentworth process. It turned out that because the land separation involved only active ag fields that were going to remain in production that were over 10 acres, that it was exempt from the subdivision.
Oh.
Turned out to be a non-issue.
Good. All right. Zoning, Margaret,
No meeting.
no meeting this month.
There is one coming up though, I believe.
All right, park, Dave.
Cold and snowy.
Anything clearer than that? Utilities, Dave.
Nothing out of the norm. No big overages or underages.
Okay. Bridget.
I have nothing that we haven't discussed already, except that I saw that the letter came from Pioneer, which identified their outside counsel who should be reaching out. If you don't hear from them, reach out. If you need any help, I'm happy to. So
Okay. All right, the next town board or town board workshop will be March 9th, 1700, 5 p.m. And the town board meeting will be March 11th, 7 p.m. Is there anything else the board has, Lana?
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't see it.
I was just wondering, the comprehensive plan, we were supposed to get a grant in that part. Made it sound like in January we could reapply for that grant.
Kirk, you want to answer that?
I don't think we're gonna get it.
No.
Okay,
It's fast.
so we did that and we don't get reimbursed for that.
I'm thinking that's. We're
Sold
kind of
us a
upset
bill of
about it
goods.
too.
She sold us a bill of goods then.
Well.
Yeah,
Yes,
it's a big
it's
well.
more than just one person.
Per firm.
When we discuss it, when we go to the comprehensive plan, we're gonna do it in here. It'll be on the camera. It'll be videotaped.
I'm just asking, cause I know when we did it, that she kept saying, oh, January, there'll be a new opening at the state for it. The new bid process, I know, grant process.
Well, we can look into it again, but we've been told it's.
I've read it a couple times and we didn't have it in the minutes. We didn't have it in the contract.
That's what that our lady kept saying.
Yeah. All right. Any other questions? Thank you all for coming. It's nice. Can I get a motion to close?
So moved.
Oh, Margaret second.
Wes?
Wes
Margaret?
and Margaret, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Right. Thank you all for coming.
Got this down.
Is that-
I see.
Sean.
It stops here.
Yes.
Yeah.